Hi everybody, welcome back to Your Health Your Way. I'm Lisa, and this is an update on the video that said hard to make healthy choices. That video I made on November 11th, and in that video I had gotten really frustrated with my poor eating habits. I had decided that a juice fast was what I was going to do, so I went and I bought all kinds of produce, made juice, put it in the freezer, intended to just consume that day after day for a few weeks. And it worked for like the first 2 days and then that went to pot. It worked well when I was working because I would just take it with me to work and I was busy and engaged, and I would just have my juice and it was fine. But then when I got home I was hungry, I felt deprived, so that wasn't working. At about that same time, I guess that started around the 1st of November. We also had our little dog Sunny, which Kurt did a beautiful tribute to him in one of our other videos, who did pass, but at that time he wasn't doing well. He was sick, and I really had wanted to start, going to the gym and getting on a healthier track, and I was just not in a good place emotionally or mentally to do that. All I wanted to do was to be home with him and spend my time with him. Finally, toward the end of November, on the 19th, I finally got traction. I finally started going back to the gym, and those first 2 days were so hard. I was so out of breath, and it was just an effort. It was just really difficult being there. And then after being there for just a couple of days, Sonny passed away, which was right before Thanksgiving. So for that day when he passed and the next 5 days, Kurt and I ate out every day, at least once a day. We ate high grain, high fat, high sugar, every bit of comfort food possible that we could get our hands on because we were so down in the dumps. But after that was over, that period of time, and Thanksgiving, those holidays were over and I went back to work, I was like, okay, I got to get back in the gym. So got back in the gym, and I started to stick with it, and that felt really good. It was nice to go to the gym and see some of the same people that I hadn't seen in a long time because I hadn't been there, and nice to see some people that go, every time I'm there, they're there. So it motivates me to know that, hey, other people make this a habit, a healthy lifelong habit, long-term habit. Some other changes I also started to make was, although I've always been a heavy water drinker, I decided to actually measure it. So I will have those 1 liter bottles, known as Smoothie Cups, that I usually use, and I would make sure to have one first thing in the morning with lemon. That's never been an issue with me. I've been doing that for years, which is really helpful. Then I would have breakfast. Then I would have another one of those between that meal and lunch. Then I would have another one in the afternoon and another one before bedtime, or even I would use that fourth one even throughout the night because I'd get up and my mouth would be really dry. So it would end up being 3 to 4 within a 24-hour period, and that was really helpful, especially to reduce my appetite. So that was another change. I also allowed myself to have snacks at home, but a healthier version of the ones that I was really binging on. Like I would get the iced lattes full of sugar and those flavored syrups like white chocolate mocha or toasted marshmallow or mocha, whatever. So I got some, for example, I got some organic fair trade coffee from the health food store, the instant, and it's actually pretty good. And I would make that with some coconut milk, low-fat coconut milk instead of dairy. And this is the canned coconut milk. So it had most of the fat taken out of it since it was light. And I would add some this hot chocolate powder that came from the health food store, which meant it had a lot better ingredients than the packaged stuff you get at the grocery store. And then I had bought some syrup, some good chocolate, good tasting chocolate syrup. and I would put that in there. I would make this awesome ice mocha, at night, like around 6 o'clock, and that would satisfy my sweet tooth. And it tasted really good. Saves money, and it's a lot healthier than the things I was getting on the street. Ideally, I wouldn't have it at all, but when we make gradual changes, that's better than just going cold turkey from one thing, one way of living to another. I mean, it works sometimes for some people, but not all the time for everybody. Let's see, I'm also reading my notes here. What else? Oh yeah, and then I had that comment from that lovely lady that I see once in a while where I work. Thank God I don't work with her, but it's just an individual that I see in the building sometimes. And that led me to my fat shaming video, which I encourage you to watch, because her comment, in spite of all these positive changes I was making, that comment could have really derailed me if I would have let it, but I didn't. It derailed me for that day when I had a box of donuts because I was so frustrated, angry, depressed, and hurt at what she said, especially with all the changes I had been making. It's like, you have no freaking idea what you're talking about, woman, But anyway, so then December came around, and this happens every time I try to make positive changes. I'll sacrifice for a few days, I'll start working out, and then I'll see that I'm not seeing enough changes. I'm not physically seeing enough changes, significant changes. And what happens is it takes time. And I know, with my background in personal training and exercise physiology, I know these things take time. And you can sacrifice and be committed to exercise and cleaner diet for a long time, for weeks, before you see significant changes. So what I started doing was I started noticing these tiny, tiny little things, like as crazy as it may sound, Mrs. TMI, but your underwear fitting a little looser, the bra not being as tight. I had gone to work one time with my big winter coat. I call it my Michelin Man coat because it's one of those poofy ones, puffer jackets, I guess, puffer coats. And when I first put it on, before I started my exercise and changing in diet, I could not, I could barely do this, and I could barely turn around. I had to turn my whole body around. I couldn't just turn, like normally. And after a couple of weeks, I started being able to fit into that a little bit better. My skirt felt a little bit better. The one, my what do I call it? My emergency skirt that I wear because it's the only thing that fits. What else? So that was really good. You notice like sleeves getting a little bit longer. If you wear like sweatshirts or long sleeve shirts, as you lose weight, they get a little bit longer. The pants get a little bit longer. So those are some pretty neat changes to see. When I would eat restaurant food or high salt food, could tell the next day. It's like the water retention and the jiggling in the abdominal area is so obvious. If you go a couple of days without all that high salt, you see a physical change in that. That's one way to reduce your stomach size, is to cut out salt for a couple of days. Make sure you don't add salt. Make sure you don't eat things that have salt hidden in them. Restaurant food, you can never tell because you don't know how they're cooking it. And chances are, to make you more addicted to food, they're using a lot of salt or MSG or other hidden names that are basically just salt. And then what else? So those are some really good changes. My strength gains were awesome in just the 1 month that I had been working out, from November 19th to December 19th. They were awesome. And as of then, December 19th, I changed my workout plan a little bit more to be more intense. But for that first month that I got back, I did something that wasn't just over the top, that wasn't too much. Because again, 20% of our health and body change is going to be seen through diet. And 80% is going to be seen through diet, and 20% is going to be seen through exercise. So there's no sense killing yourself at the gym if you're going to eat like crap. But getting yourself going to the gym might be easier than changing your diet. So if you need something to help you get traction, get to the gym, get into that habit. One thing I just tell myself every day when I eat is like, okay, Lisa, you're going to the gym tomorrow, so you don't want to have reflux and be lifting weights, because that's really feels nasty. And then I end up, it goes into the sinus, I get a sinus infection. So I always ask myself, what do I want to eat today so that I'm comfortable tomorrow when I'm working out at the gym? And let's see. Okay, I think that's it. In terms of food in general, I'm not obsessed with this whole raw thing anymore because it's very hard to keep up with. The juice fasting is wonderful. I've done it before, but I know in my mind that once I get off of it, I feel so deprived, I'm going to swing the other way. So I feel like I'm not really interested in doing juice feasting. I'm not interested in doing all raw. I would love, for ethical reasons, to be vegan, to have no animal products whatsoever. But sometimes I just want that. So what I've done is significantly reduced my consumption of animal products. I still have eggs. I have products that have milk in them, although I'm trying to reduce that as well, just because of the sinus issues and the asthma. And I have tuna fish, eggs, and some chicken. Haven't done beef in a long time. That'll be once in a while. So small changes. And I've also increased non-grain carbs like quinoa, chia seeds. I'm finding more recipes, and if that keeps working out well, I'll post some later on that I have made that are filling, that do not have animal protein, but that are high in protein and are filling, if I didn't say that already. So that's the 1 month progress. So I will see you in another month and let you know how things are going. And my goal is to continue the path that I'm on, stay with the exercise, the water intake, stay steady with it. With exercise, I've included a couple of days of HIIT sprints. Today I did my first one, which was on the bicycle. That's where you go, say, 30 seconds at top speed, get your heart rate cranked up, and then you take a minute to recover, and you go really slow, kind of get your heart rate back down, and you repeat that for 20 minutes. That burns more calories than, in the long term, than steady state cardio. Steady state cardio will burn more calories within an exercise session compared to the HIIT, but your body stays in that, it's called exercise post-oxygen consumption, EPOC. It will keep burning more calories for the next 24 hours when you do the HIIT or the interval or the fartlek. It's been called many things over the years. And it's an efficient and quick way that really works up a good sweat, and it's intense but short time, for a short duration only, which is really good. So we'll see you in a month, and Happy New Year. Bye.